Born in 1684 in the Kingdom of Congo, a young girl named Kimpa Vita would grow to become a significant figure in a religious and political movement that would challenge the status quo. This kingdom, now part of modern-day northern Angola and parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo, was the cradle where her remarkable history would unfold. Kimpa Vita was not an ordinary child. From a tender age, she was drawn to the mystique of religion, captivated by the teachings of Christianity. This was a faith introduced to the Kingdom of Congo by Portuguese missionaries who arrived in the 15th century. The missionaries baptized the young Kimpa Vita, marking her formal acceptance into the Christian faith. But her story does not stop at being a devout Christian. Her deep involvement in Christian activities was more than just a spiritual pursuit. It was the foundation upon which she would later erect a movement that would send ripples across the kingdom and beyond. Kimpa Vita's baptism was more than a mere ritual. It was a pivotal moment that began to shape her destiny. This initiation into Christianity played a significant role in her life, influencing her thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It instilled in her a deep sense of faith, one that would later fuel her revolutionary spirit. Her early life was a tapestry woven with threads of spirituality, resilience, and a quest for knowledge. Her immersion in Christian activities, her baptism by the Portuguese missionaries, her fervor, and her curiosity were the building blocks that set the foundation for her future role in the Antonian movement. Kimpa Vita's early religious experiences were a precursor to her later spiritual transformation. These experiences were not just milestones in her personal journey, but they were the stepping stones towards a larger cause. They were preparing her for a destiny that was far greater than what she could have possibly envisioned at such a young age. Little did she know, her early religious experiences were setting the stage for her significant role in the Antonian movement. Amidst the backdrop of internal strife and external pressures, Kimpa Vita experienced a spiritual transformation around 1704. In the throes of this metamorphosis, she claimed to have visions of Saint Anthony of Padua, a revered figure in Catholicism. These visions weren't merely fleeting images, they were profound encounters that altered the course of her life and the fabric of the Kingdom of Congo. With a newfound sense of purpose, Kimpa Vita began preaching a syncretic form of Christianity. This wasn't the Christianity of the Portuguese missionaries, no, it was a unique blend, a fusion of traditional Congo religious beliefs with Catholicism. This new form of worship struck a chord with many Congolese, resonating with their cultural identity and spiritual inclinations. Kimpa Vita's spiritual revelation wasn't confined to the realm of the divine. She argued, with fervor and conviction, that the Congo kingdom was the true kingdom of God. This was a radical idea, a complete shift from the established religious narrative. It was a statement that challenged the Portugueses' influence and their version of Christianity. But it was more than just a religious argument. It was an assertion of Congo's spiritual importance, an affirmation of its cultural significance. Kimpa Vita's efforts weren't limited to the spiritual realm. She sought to reform and revitalize Congo society, to breathe new life into a kingdom under siege. She believed that by restoring Congo's spiritual identity, she could help restore its political and economic influence. This was a daunting task, but Kimpa Vita was not deterred. She was driven by a divine mission, a calling that she believed was greater than herself. Her new form of Christianity was gaining momentum, and her followers, known as Antonians, were growing in number. These Antonians saw in Kimpa Vita a beacon of hope, a leader who could guide them through the tumultuous times. And so the Antonian movement rose from the ashes of a kingdom in turmoil, a testament to the resilience and determination of Kimpa Vita and her followers. Kimpa Vita's movement wasn't just religious, it was political. This bold young woman wasn't just challenging the spiritual norms of her society, but the very fabric of its political structure. In the heart of the Kingdom of Congo, a profound shift was taking place. Kimpa Vita's influence was spreading far and wide, and her followers, the Antonians, were growing in numbers. They didn't just see her as a religious leader, they believed in her divine mission. A mission not just to reform the spiritual beliefs of the Congo people but to reshape their political identity. She was challenging the authority of local Congo leaders. She wasn't afraid to question their decisions, their motivations, and their allegiances. Kimpa Vita was advocating for a return to traditional Congo values that had been gradually eroded over the years, due to external influences. But Kimpa Vita didn't stop there. She also challenged the Portuguese colonial administrators, the very people who had brought Christianity to the Kingdom of Congo. To her, their influence had strayed far beyond the spiritual realm. She saw how the Portuguese had meddled in the politics of the kingdom, how they had influenced the local leaders, and how they had exploited the Congo people. She saw how they had used their religion as a tool to further their colonial ambitions. And she wasn't afraid to call them out on it. Kimpa Vita's message was clear. The Congo people needed to remember their roots, to reclaim their traditional values, and to reject the Portuguese influence. She was advocating for a return to self-rule, to a time when the Kingdom of Congo was a powerful, independent entity. Her popularity was soaring, but it was also raising alarm bells. She was becoming a threat to the established order. She was becoming a symbol of resistance, a beacon of hope for those who yearned for a return to the days of Congo autonomy. But as her influence grew, so did the fears of those in power. Little did Kimpa Vita know, her powerful voice was about to be silenced in the most brutal way possible. In 1706, Kimpa Vita's influence led to her arrest. A powerful woman, she had dared to challenge the status quo, both religiously and politically. Her following had grown, her words had resonated, and her actions had incited fear in the hearts of those in power. She was brought before a court, accused of heresy. The charges against her were grave, her crimes against the established religious order unforgivable. The verdict was as swift as it was harsh. Guilty as charged. For the powers that be, Kimpa Vita had become too potent a threat to be ignored. Once a beacon of hope for her people, she was now a prisoner, facing the direst of consequences for her beliefs. The sentence? Death by burning at the stake. A brutal method, reserved for those deemed the most dangerous by the society of the time. Kimpa Vita, the woman who had dared to dream of a revitalized Congo, was to meet a tragic end. But her execution was more than just the silencing of a revolutionary voice. It was a clear demonstration of the power dynamics at play. The local African rulers and the Portuguese colonizers were sending a message, a stark reminder of their control. They were asserting their dominance, quelling any thoughts of rebellion that may have been kindled by Kimpa Vita's impassioned speeches. This event signified a suppression of her religious movement, the Antonian movement. It was an attempt to eradicate the syncretic form of Christianity Kimpa Vita had propagated, a blend of traditional Congo religious beliefs and Catholicism. The movement that had gained momentum, that had started to shift the religious landscape of the Congo Kingdom, was brutally crushed. Yet, in the grand scheme of things, Kimpa Vita's death was not in vain. Her story did not end with her execution. Instead, it marked the beginning of her legacy, a legacy of resistance and resilience. Her execution was a tragic end to a revolutionary life. But as we will see, her flame was not extinguished. It ignited a spark that continues to burn brightly today. Kimpa Vita's legacy is both complex and enduring. Her influence reverberates through the centuries, reminding us of her courage and the power of belief. Condemned by the Catholic Church and Portuguese colonial authorities, she was branded a heretic, a rebel, a threat to the established order. But through the lens of history, we see a different picture. Kimpa Vita, also known as Dona Beatriz, challenged the status quo, daring to question the authority of those in power. She stood against the Portuguese colonial influence, advocating for a return to traditional Congo values. Her actions were seen as a direct defiance of the established power structures, a challenge to both the local African rulers and the European colonizers. But for many, Kimpa Vita was more than just a rebel. She was a beacon of resistance, a symbol of the struggle against external influence. Her story resonates with those who value cultural autonomy and the preservation of traditional beliefs. She became a cultural and religious leader, striving to unite traditional Congo beliefs with Christianity in a syncretic blend that was unique to the Congo Kingdom. In contemporary times, Kimpa Vita is celebrated by some as a national hero in Angola. Her efforts to resist colonial domination and restore a sense of identity and autonomy to the Congo people are remembered and honored. She stands as a testament to the power of belief and the strength of the human spirit. And so, while her life was cut tragically short, her influence endures. The echoes of her words and her actions continue to resonate, challenging us to question, to resist, and to strive for autonomy and identity. She serves as a reminder of the power of one voice, of one woman, to inspire change and to challenge the status quo. Kimpa Vita's life and movement reflect the complex interplay of religion, politics, and cultural identity during a tumultuous period in African history. Her legacy is a testament to the power of belief and the enduring human spirit.